Got the chickens going. They might not have had a story before, but they have one now. So let me ask you a question. How many of you here have a story? All of us. You know, there's an old saying that, why did God create so many people? And the answer was because she loves stories. And I think that's true because although language is the way that we define our world, we use stories to make sense of that world. So we tell stories in order for us to understand and to communicate and to share. When Darius was up here, when Joe was up here, we all started with a story because that's how we engage, that's how we connect, and that's how we begin to know that we're all the same, even though we're all different. So the question that I have for each of you, and the beginning slide, which I slipped over because my finger on the wrong button, is, are you ready to create something extraordinary? And I believe you all are because you're all here. You all took the time and the investment to come here and be a part of this group because you have something that you want to bring forward. You have a story that you want to make manifest or be powerful with. So my question is, that story that you have, does it serve you or does it sabotage you? In my own journey, when I was 24 years old, I decided to jump out my kitchen window because my story didn't work anymore. I left home when I was 16, I got married when I was 18, I got divorced when I was 21, and when I was 24 years old, I hit a wall because nothing was working. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do to save myself, and it didn't work. Now the good news is I'm still here because I only was on a second story of a two-story building, and going out the window meant I would probably just land in a bush and poke my eye out, and that wasn't a good idea. So I had to come up with a better story. I'm not 24 anymore. I'm 60. Just had a birthday, and I've had an amazing journey. And I've learned something in that journey, which is there are 4 stories that we all tell. And I'm going to walk you through those stories because what I've learned in my own journey is if we master these stories and we understand the concept of how we tell these stories, we can create some of the most extraordinary things. The first story that everybody tells is the challenge story. And the challenge story is, where are you right now? Gilda Radner says, the sand in your bathing suit. It's that little drop of water on the end of your nose. It's that sand in your bathing suit. It's the sand in the pearl or in the oyster that makes the pearl. It's what is it that you want? Where are you? What's the desire? And you don't have it and you want it and it's irritating and you need to change. So it's always that first question. It can be something like, I hate my job. I want to make a big difference in the world. I don't know how. These jeans make my butt look fat. Whatever the challenge is, there's this thing that you're saying to yourself, not quite it. So the first story that we all tell is the challenge story. Where are we? The second story we tell is the dream story. And the dream story is, what would it look like if it was exactly the way you wanted it to be? Now, for a lot of people, they can say, this is what it is, this is what I'm moving towards. But for some people, it's not quite that defined. For some people, it's more like a pull. You feel it in your heart. There's something that's saying, go here. This, not that. So how many of you sort of know, or kind of know, or do know what it is you want? Okay? How many of you don't know what you want? Just as good. Okay? So if you know what you want, that's great. And if you don't know what you want, that's great too. Because if you know what you don't want, then the opposite of that is the place to start to. You can say something like, I don't ever want to have another job where I sit in a cubicle all day long staring at a screen. Awesome. Now that you know what you don't want, what would it look like if you do? So feeling that pull is the first time that we begin to recognize that there is something bigger. There is a dream that we're looking for. So once we begin to identify that we have a dream story, we have to take the specific steps. And so I always ask that question, if the passion and purpose fairy came down and touched you on the forehead and said, Renee, you can have exactly what you want as long as you can name it specifically. What would you see? What would you hear? And what would you feel? Now, it's really important because if we get specific, then we have an idea of what it is we're looking for. If we just say something like, well, you know, I want to make a big difference in the world, I want to make a lot of money, I want to help people, we're kind of wimping out. Because what that means is that, say you went to the travel agent and you said, I want to go on vacation. And the travel agent says, awesome, where do you want to go? And you say, I don't know. And so she sends you on a culinary tour of Fresno. You think to yourself, no, it wasn't quite what I was thinking about. So you got to get specific. You got to tell her, give her some direction. It doesn't have to be completely nailed down, but you have to kind of know where you're going so that that old adage, you know, anywhere you are is good enough. But here's my criteria. Anything that I want has to have this. It has to have that giggle factor. It has to have that part in me, that dream story that says, oh my God, could I really have that? Because that's the feeling that you want to have that says, I've got the emotion and the energy to carry that story forward. Because if you're just kind of like, yeah, it'd be cool. Sure, I'd like to do that. The first time something comes along to distract you, you're like, yeah, okay, I've changed my mind. But if you have that fear, you know, Fritz Perl said that the difference between fear and excitement is the breath. So if you're holding your breath and you're going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I want it, oh my God, what if I get it? That's a good place to be in, because that's the place that's holding the energy of what you're going to take forward. So there you are. You've identified it, you've got your thoughts, you've got your actions, you've attached your emotion to it, and now you're on your path, right? Or are you? All of a sudden, you find yourself procrastinating, you're watching cat videos on YouTube, you're checking your email at 48 seconds, and you're not taking action. So first story, challenge story. Second story, the dream story. When you're in this place, you have now officially arrived in the yeah, but story. Anybody have a yeah, but story? I could have this if only, yeah, but, you know. And I love what Joe said. He said, I thought it was that, but it's really me. And that's the place that we begin to come home to. Because here's the thing about the yeah, but story. Remember those ancient maps? The old cartographers used to write on there when they got to the edge of known knowledge. They would say, there be dragons. Don't go there. That's the scary place. Well, here's the good news, the bad news. If you want to take your power back, you're going to have to go into the dragon's cave. You're going to have to go into that yeah, but story, the one that says, oh, I can't have what I want because, you know, because I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough credentials, I don't have enough talent, my mother didn't love me. Whatever the story is, that's not your truth. But you're going to have to go into the dragon's cave and you're going to have to identify where you left your power and ask for your tiara back. Or your sword, if you're a guy, unless you want to wear a tiara. That's cool too. So how do you do that? You know, how do you go into the dragon's cave and begin to take your power back? Well, the first thing that you absolutely need to have is curiosity and wonder. And a lot of times when I'm working with clients, I'm in this place of judgment and criticality. You do something, it doesn't work out, and you go, I'm so stupid. That's judgment, that's criticality. But what if you went into a place of wonder and curiosity? Wow, isn't that interesting? Every time I'm with this person, I have this experience, and it's not a good one. I wonder why I do that. Wonder and curiosity is what we call the both and, okay? So I'm wondering, and I'm kind of curious about why I do this. Why am I telling this story? Why am I having this experience? What's it trying to get from me? Versus the criticality, which is either or. You know, I'm either smart or I'm stupid. However, I will caution you, going into wonder and curiosity and saying, I wonder why I'm so stupid, is not really wonder and curiosity, okay? So I just want to make that small little distinction for you as you're moving through this process. So if we stay in wonder and curiosity, then we're able to look at the story in a brand new way. And we don't ask the question of, am I stupid? But we begin to look at the results we get as information, okay? Big, huge difference. Not a judgment, of your worth in the world, but simply information. I tried this thing and it didn't work. Wow, I wonder what would happen if I tried something else. The second most important part, and for all of us in this conference this weekend, we're going to be hearing great information, and we're going to be raising our own hands and saying, I really see myself as that person. I see myself wanting to participate. I see myself wanting to stand up and make a difference. Let go of how. If you do nothing else in your journey, let go of how. Don't ask the question, well, how's that supposed to happen? Because that's not going to give you the answer you want. It's who, what, where, when, with whom, who's going to play with me? What are the steps I need to take? What's the thing I need to do next in my journey? Don't ask the question how, let that one go, because that's not your job. Your job is to simply show up. And by doing that, it takes you out of the cave and into what I find is the most magical of the 4 stories, the unexpected story. And the unexpected story is that part of us that is greater than us. We all come into the world with a genius. We all come to the world with a daemon, and the daemon knows our destiny even if we don't. And it holds the power of what we are here to do. And the unexpected story is that place that says, I don't know how this is all going to work out, but I trust. I trust that I will have synchronicity, I will have coincidences, I will be in those right places where I will find the things that I need to help me on my journey. So if we look at the 4 stories and we begin to see how they work, the challenge story, what is it we want connected to desire, the dream story, what is it that I really truly want? And if I don't know what I want, can I at least identify what I don't want so I can begin to ask the question, what do I want that's different? The yeah, but story, owning the fact that it's only scary because we haven't been there before, because we think it's the end of no knowledge, but it's actually a place for us to visit how the story is protecting us, and the dragon turns into a gatekeeper rather than something fierce and scary. And then the unexpected story, which says, what else is possible? What else is possible for us? So I want to leave you with a little bit of magic so that you can take this as we go into the next couple of days. I love gifts and presents. It's like my most famous, popular thing to do. So if you can all just put your feet on the floor and just take a deep breath, come into the room, just ground yourself. Feel your butt on the seat, close your eyes. And in closing, I'd like to give you each a gift. Something really special for your journey as you go forward. And as you sit there with your eyes closed, imagine a box wrapped with the most beautiful paper in your favorite color, tied with a big bow of luxurious silk ribbon. Inside the box is a gift. Something super important that's going to be here to guide you this weekend as your life unfolds towards your own unexpected story. This gift might be an object, a symbol, a sound, or a feeling. The meaning of the gift may be known instantly to you, or it may be revealed in layers. Just know that whatever form it takes, it's something powerful that will be an ally for you on your journey. All you need to do is accept what is offered with curiosity and wonder, and then ask the question, how does this gift serve for the best possible outcome for the good of all concerned? Now reach out and take the box in your hands, placing it on your lap and feeling the texture and weight of it. Then pull the ribbon to untie the box and open the lid to reveal the gift inside. Remember, the meaning of the gift may be known instantly, or it may be revealed in layers. And after you've examined your gift, take a moment to express gratitude for your higher self for sending this special gift to you, and for all the guidance that you will and continue to receive. Then, in your own time, when you're ready, come back into the room, wiggle your toes and your fingers, and open your eyes. And remember this. Whatever we witness, we are changed by. And whenever we are witnessed, we can never go back. I wish you all an extraordinary weekend and an extraordinary life.